All right, well, welcome back here as we're happy to report. You probably already know, but it is 2-0 for your Sarnia Sting. And Lee Bazeley joining me. Welcome back, my friend. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year to you too, sir.
I have to ask you the question, were you over at Jay Peckham's house New Year's Eve?
I was not.
So you didn't get an invite either?
Oh, no, I did not. Jay, you son of a bee.
Yeah, we talked about that, and he was like, oh, here we go again. And so I had to just check in. So it wasn't just me. All right.
No, they told us it was a, intimate family affair.
Oh.
And then we see the pictures online. It's like, wow, Jay.
Wow. I know that guy and that guy and that guy, right? I know. All right. Well, we're happy, though, because the Sarnia Sting, well-deserved out there. I got to tell you, the Sarnia Sting have got the Peterborough Petes on their heels out there.
Oh, absolutely.
They seem very well formed out there. And, Marco Sikic to take that first goal is interesting. I don't know if you watched the pregame with Jay and I, but he even said Marco Sikic is one that kind of lately we haven't seen a lot from and would like to see some more. And there he was, right place, right time, too. And it was set up well, and boom, just went in, and it was a beautiful goal. And then Andrew LeBlanc coming along next there. These are two, solid players that nice to see a little more from Sikic, like I said. But Andrew LeBlanc, a really consistent player for the Sting.
Yeah, honestly, I was, when they announced the goal and said it was his 9th of the season, I was kind of surprised that it's only been his 9th because he has been very consistent. He's usually mixed out there with everything. He's been doing very, very well this year. But yeah, to hear that it was only his 9th was very, very surprising. But he's definitely been making his presence known and making an impact all season long. I guess just not as many goals as I had thought. But,
for sure.
And Marco Sikic, that's like vintage Marco right there.
Right.
That was how many times have we seen him pull that same kind of move, scoring just like that? Not lately, but hopefully this is the start to getting him back.
You know what I noticed different out there too, Lee, at the start of this period is the confidence that the Sting seems to be broadcasting off of themselves out there. They're in sync. There's a couple spots there, but overall they've really come out the gate wanting that win. You can sense that they're in this game. Their head, and Jay and I were talking about, like, Dylan Sika last game here was like their head wasn't in the game. They didn't seem like they cared, but this seems like it's changed out there.
I think so. They've done the losing thing for the last for a while. But yeah, the last couple of weeks, before the Christmas break, and then now again these few games since the Christmas break.
Yep.
They've been like a whole new team. They're coming back. They're tired of kind of having to deal with those losses and the feelings that go along with it. And they're tired of being down about it. So they've turned it around. They're doing something about it. And the confidence is showing through. Like, whatever they're doing is working, and they're only getting better. Yeah.
And you got to talk about the shots on goal. 14-3, I believe, when I double check. Yeah, 14-3. And, while you look at that and you go, wow, that's amazing. What you talk about, I was listening to Pat DeRoche talking about when you're a goalie and it's only 3 shots on you, that's a long time to be standing there, wait. You know what I mean? Like it can be tough to take because you've only had 3 shots on you, and you just kind of, and then one finally comes along and you've really got to be ready for it. But when you've got 20 shots on you, you're used to that puck coming at you a
on
little
your
bit
toes
more,
at all
right?
times, ready for it.
So it can be, and Patrick would know, it can be hard on a goalie to not have so many shots on them. But we're okay with that because a lot of this is in the numbers here. 14 shots on goal, 2 going in. That's a pretty good ratio here.
Definitely, and that's unusual from what we've been seeing out of the Sting for most of the year. When we get into the first intermission, then later in the game, we're usually the ones that are having the less shots. And it's not usually by this broad of a range as we've got going on then, but we're usually behind in shots. So it's definitely nice to see the Sarnia Sting coming out here with that offense really working for them tonight and getting those shots on goal and keeping them out of our own zone and keeping the puck away from our own net. Especially like you're saying, when you're taking a long time in between shots and the goalie's sitting there getting kind of bored. 2 of those shots came right back-to-back on that same power play.
For sure.
There's only been maybe, 2 plays the whole entire first period where Nick Strzezic actually had to face shots on him. Yeah. And he's coming up with 2 of those 3 shots were amazing saves.
Oh, for sure.
the one pad save that he just pulled up out of nowhere was like, oh my God. That was a thing of beauty. Like, I love goalies, and that was one of my favorite saves that I think I've seen from any of the Sarnia Sting goalies all season long.
Yeah, and that, when that kind of thing happens out there, this is coming back to that confidence thing that we talk about a lot. You can almost see the smiles coming out of the Sarnia Sting tonight. Which when you're winning, that's easier to do, but they've had to come back from all that downtime, if you will, and then overcome, and then now here we are. And, when that confidence starts coming up, it's really been a mindset thing for this team, I think, because we know they have the skills out there. We've seen the skills. We're seeing it tonight. We saw it at the beginning of the season. And I think even though the losses were coming along with them, other than last week's game when we were here, and I'll go back again to the post game when Dylan Sika basically said, I don't think we were there, and he didn't say we didn't deserve to win, but he was like, nobody was showing up. They didn't seem to care.
Yeah.
And I don't know, maybe there was a tongue lash in there or something that happened.
Could have been.
Or maybe it was hitting the reset button of Happy New Year. Let's start over and away we go. Whatever the case may be, it seems to be working tonight.
Absolutely. And you want to talk about confidence. You want to talk about that mindset of winning and just being out there and having fun and doing all the right things and making things work for you. Confidence, Zach Felak got in a fight.
Oh, yeah, right.
Zach Felak came out of that fight with a huge grin on his face, pumping the crowd up.
He was like, come on, let's go here.
I've never seen that. That could have been Zach Felak's first fight for all I know.
And
he came
out
of that.
And I was like, what?
I couldn't believe it when I realized that. Number 11. Wait a minute.
Yeah.
Felak's fighting. Does he know that that's him?
Yeah.
But no.
Does he know that's him?
Yeah. It wasn't the best fight, but at the same time, the look on his face coming out of that, how happy he was and how pumped up he was and how he was trying to get the crowd into it. That was great. That was wonderful.
I don't even know where it came from. Like, usually there's something happening on the rink that, because we don't hear all the little buzzing going on around there. Like, okay, we're going to do this. So I didn't see it coming.
No, I didn't even know it was
all
happening
of a sudden,
until it was already happening. Yeah.
I think there was a discussion. It's like, okay, we're dropping the gloves as soon as they drop the puck, and then it happened. And the referees, their job is to make sure that everybody is safe out there. But sometimes, they just let that one go.
Yeah.
It seemed like a clean fight, so to speak.
Oh, yeah.
Both sides were coming at it. Because some of these can get a little carried away and they can fall and hit hard. This was just, I don't know. I wonder, if we'll see Felak post game. I don't know.
That'd be great. That'd be a post game show that I'd be tuning in to check out, because that's definitely love to hear his thoughts on that. So hopefully he is the one that's in there at the end of the game.
I really like the speed of this game as well. Yeah. Everything just seems to be working. So I think it's that 60 minutes of hockey, boys. Mm-hmm. Come on out, do that again. Maybe a little bit. Like, it was a good speed, maybe a little bit more, or be ready for it, because obviously the Petes are not going to be accepting this as they're having their conversation in the locker room. So now it's time.
We're talking about the defending OHL champions team here, right? Like,
yep.
They're not, like you said, they're not going to just sit back and take this. They're going to come out. They're going to be on their game more so in the second period and in the third than they were here in the first. Something obviously wasn't clicking with them in the first period. But we definitely have to expect Peterborough Petes to come out next period, coming out strong, coming out hard.
We're going to have a lot to talk about come next Wednesday, because the London Knights will be back here. This is a bit of a break at home until next Wednesday. London Knights, yep. That's all I got to say about that. That'll be a game for sure. And it's also the deadline, OHL deadline. So I think, though, what could be happening between now and then, right?
I don't like change, so I'm hoping nothing's happening for the Sarnia
well, I think you got to expect a couple of things are probably going to.
Probably, but
I'm sure there is a couple of things that are going to be changed.
Probably, but I can't think of a single one that I want to see happen, though. Like, I love this team. I like who they've got now, and they're finally, they've been coming together. They've been having their rough
Or maybe
moments.
not. You never know.
But
I don't know. I don't know anything. I'm not holding anything back. But
I mean, at the same time, last year when they did when they were approaching the trade deadline last year, I was having the same feelings when they got rid of Porter Martone and sent him off to Mississauga.
Yeah.
I was like crushed, heartbroken. Like, no, we just got him back from his time away with Team Canada. He's doing such great things. I don't want to see him go away. But who did they bring in? Ethan Del Mastro, Luca Del Belbaluz, two powerhouses that brought a lot to this team last year. So as much as I don't want to see anything happening, don't want to see anybody go.
It's hockey, folks.
Sarnia Sting makes good moves for the team. The front office guys, they make good moves for this team. So as much as I don't want to see it, if they do make a move, it's only going to benefit Sarnia Sting.
All right, well, we'll see what happens for sure. But in the meantime, keep watching wherever you're watching from. Hey, let us know in the comments where you are watching from. Are you listening on CHOK with our friends Lee Cunningham and Pat DeRoche? Are you watching on the television with Terry Doyle and Barry Wright? We'd like to know. But in the meantime, thanks so much for watching. We'll be back. Connor Burke will be joining me at the second period intermission. We'll get his perspective on what's happening with the Sarnia Sting as well. Lee, thanks for coming in, and Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
As always, live from the concourse, I'm David Burrows. This is my friend Lee Bazeley. A 1, 2, 3.
Go Sting, go!